I haven't done this in a while. This is a recovering statist. I just wanted to talk about a little something. I think I'll call this Sippin' on Corona and talking about the Rona. I just had a thought that seemed funny to me, that so various state and local governments have decided that they have the authority to issue orders, decrees, laws, and pick and choose what industries, what businesses are essential and okay to operate, and which ones are temporarily illegal to operate. So, I'll just skip the absurdity of that. I just wanted to mention that to say, okay, it's the state or various states, various governments that have caused thus far unknown damage, maybe more damage than any virus or pandemic, by doing this, because they have unemployed a countless number of people. I mean, there are I would guess at least hundreds of thousands, probably millions, but at least hundreds of thousands of people, many of whom were already check people, because nobody or many people in this country don't save, don't prepare for bad things, don't have a whole lot of wisdom when it comes to thinking about what might happen, what could happen, what would we do if. And that's kind of the luxury that you have, and also a danger you have when you live in this type of quote-unquote country, rich country. Because, everybody knows the stats. If you make at least, $30,000, $35,000 a year, then globally, you're the 1%. Because, a lot of the planet, those people don't prepare for bad things to happen simply because they can't afford to. It's all they can do just to have food, shelter, necessities. But here, the country is rich enough and people make enough where they can and due to statism being this big enabler, you can totally make 30, 40, 50, I mean, 100,000 a year. And you can totally live in such a way that you're allowed to make foolish decisions and be completely, up to your ears in debt, and thus living check to check. Oh, you bought this new toy that you wanted, or this car, or this boat, or a Sea-Doo, or you got in debt getting whatever, credit cards, lines of credit, and you buy all this shit that you want. All these toys. And so then even if you make a good salary, you're still check to check, because you've promised all that income to be paid back to somebody that you owe for some stupid, toy that you had to have. And in this society, that stuff is acceptable to get things that you actually can't afford. So and the state is this big safety net and enabler for this type of behavior and decisions and lifestyle. But I'll stop bashing these people right now. So there's at least hundreds of thousands of people, many of whom are check to check, and all of a sudden, due to something that you can't even see with your naked eye, they don't have jobs now. Not actually due to this thing you can't see with your naked eye, but due to a government deciding you're not essential. Okay, and we're going to start the printing presses back up, and we're going to print a shitload more of monopoly money, and we'll give you that, and it should get you by until we decide that your non-essential work, can be done again. Even though many of those businesses that were deemed non-essential, they're probably not going to be here whenever everything starts back. They'll be gone, because you can't go for a month or two or longer. When a government decides, oh, you can't open anymore. You can't do business anymore. You're shut down. Okay, so there's that. There's this whole separate issue that the government has helped create. It wasn't the virus that did this. This was government. And because a lot of these non-essential businesses, they could do just like all the Walmarts and grocery stores and convenience stores and everything, and follow the same, because all that's considered essential. But these other businesses that fell out of that category, well, it wouldn't be any more dangerous or risky to go into those businesses than it would be to go to Walmart right now. So this is not a virus created issue. This is a government stepping in and being the, churning out the authoritarian shit that statism always does. Now, the ironic part to that is what I thought about, and that's the whole point to this, is not only did they do that with many states, local governments, whatever, did their lockdowns, their shelter-in-place orders, their whatever you want to call them. There's different names for them in different places. But the funny thing is, these orders, okay, first of all, if you're working in an industry that is suddenly deemed non-essential, and you're out of a job and you don't have income, then at the same time, in the same pen stroke as politicians giving themselves the authority to say, well, you no longer have a job, they also, in the same pen stroke, say, if they choose to enforce this, if you are out somewhere, not at home, doing something that we deem non-essential, then now we can additionally extort your no-income having ass with fines and citations, and if you don't pay those, and I'm sure jail time, and if you resist the jail time, then the end of a gun barrel. It always comes back to that. But that was the ironic thing that I thought, is first you take away these people's, many people's ability to pay fines and tickets and citations, and you open up this whole new smorgasbord of ways that you can write them tickets and fine them. It was just so funny. But that's what you get with statism. It's what you always get. And the reason that, and I don't even, there's so many angles and aspects and everything that you can look at all this at. But I don't want to get into all that, all these different factors of the actual virus and all that. Other than to say that, hey, recommendations from scientists, from people in the healthcare industry, or people who specialize in infectious diseases and all this stuff, all these types of things, reputable people, and their recommendations and their guidelines, those are awesome. That's what everybody needs. That's what individuals need. They just need the information and to be educated on what is going on, and then it should be up to them to decide and assess what level of risk they want to take on from either direction, from a virus or from, hey, I don't got income right now. If I don't go out and risk contracting something versus, hey, how is not working and no income for 2 months, how destructive is that going to be to my life? How about letting each individual make this call? And yeah, would some individuals make terrible decisions and bad calls? Absolutely. Look at government. That's what it is. It's individuals who are, addicted to power and this myth of authority that they think they have. And a lot of times that clouds their decisions and they make horrible, horrible, horrible calls. Immoral calls. And so it's an immoral call to mandate, to put your foot down and say, hey, you hundreds of thousands of people don't have a business or a job anymore, or for the next month, or for the next 3 weeks, you don't have a business or a job anymore. And while you don't have this income, if we catch you doing something we don't approve of, we will steal even more money that you don't have and don't make anymore. That's an immoral call. Absolutely terrible. Terrible. Shameful. And I'm hoping that this will open the eyes of someone, hopefully a lot of people. But even if it's only a few, I mean, that's better than nothing. Because the moral of this Corona story is, how can I say it? There's more people that are angry and willing to stand up and be defiant right now because these declarations of these lockdowns and whatever, it's a more blatant form of violating the rights of individuals. It's very blunt. It's very in your face. They're using the excuse of a pandemic to carry it out. But it's still, I mean, where are all you church people at? There's tons of localities and states that are saying that you cannot have church. Whoa! What I thought there was separation of church and state and all, and I thought that, but the reality is that all these churchy people they bow to the state anyway. I mean, the part of their religion is we have to be very good law-abiding people. You can't ever. The politicians, I mean, that's the people God put over you. So therefore, you cannot cause a ruckus. And you just have to blindly go along, regardless of how immoral they are. Because if they're immoral, it's probably something that we did, and God just said that now I'll give you immoral leaders. You know, it's all ridiculous. Somebody who can rule over you, that whole concept is immoral. And I don't need a Bible or anything to tell me that, and you shouldn't either. It should be common sense. But you got some churchy people that are, hey, you can't, a government official telling them that, hey, we'll fine people or we'll carry people to jail if you try to show up and have a church service. You got some that are kind of speaking out about it. And that's good. I hope they see it. But what I really want everybody to see, like right now, this is the good thing about right now, is it's a good opportunity to, hey, look at this. Let me explain what's wrong with this picture. Do you see what they've done to all these former employees and all these former business owners? And you can't come outside of your house in some places without taking the risk of paying hundreds of dollars or going to jail. So it's easy. That's the good thing about this. It's easy to point to what's wrong with statism right now. But the sad thing is really nothing's changed much. Because that's how statism has always been. That's how it always is. Before all this, 6 months ago, they worry about what police are going to do now, or how they're going to enforce these new lockdowns and all this. They're going to do whatever the fuck they want to. You know why? Because that's what they always do. 6 months ago, if a cop wanted to fuck with you, he didn't need a reason. He didn't need a law. He's got this whole just saturated society that's just saturated in statism and the belief and worship of authority. That's all he needs. If he wants to fuck with you, he can just make up a reason. Just make up something out of thin air. A terrible lie. And nothing's going to happen to him. Because what are you going to do? You going to take him to court? Oh, well, the judge is paid by the same, his check comes from the same place as the cop and the prosecutor and the defense attorney and everybody. So that leaves you being the only one in the courtroom who's fucked. So it's just something to think about. There's really, fundamentally speaking, not much of anything has changed right now. Hear all this talk about is unprecedented. Oh, these unprecedented times. Oh, these precedents that are being set. Well, no, they've already been set. You're just used to them. They're not new. if you fucking support authority, somebody having authority over you, then you're already you're conditioned to what is now, because that's the old version. The less blatant version is really just the same thing. The people in authority can push you around, fuck with you, tell you what to do, take your money, treat you in immoral ways, and you're supposed to thank them for their service. So nothing's really changed. It's just more shit to point to now that you can try to use to explain to somebody who don't see it. Or if you're still a proud, tax-paying, law-abiding voter, and you're listening to this right now, then maybe it's a little clearer for you to see. I don't know. But that's really all I wanted to say. Just the irony of things and how things, at a basic level, really haven't changed. Statism is statism. And you can adjust the knob up and down or whatever, but it's still the same shit coming out of the speakers. So just remember that. And do with it what you think is right. I really don't know what else to say. It's pretty obvious, and it's kind of sad. But I'm not really, I'm trying to stay positive right now. Not really getting too down. Life's too short for being down. Life's too short for being stressed out over assholes that do immoral shit. Because they've been doing it for a long time. And they may be doing it a long time after I'm gone. But one thing, or before I say that, or before I die, there may be this great, I think there's already kind of a great awakening happening, but I mean, there may be a result from the awakening. There may be big changes coming that I'll see in my time. But even if not, even if there's a clamp down and everything gets worse, and all the scary conspiracy videos that you see in your related links, how that we're all going to be put in concentration camps and forced to take all these vaccinations that are really whatever. The worst thing to do is kill you. But the thing that they can never do is, once you understand once you understand and you see statism for what it actually is, they can't change that. They can't make you go back to not seeing it. They can't make you not understand it anymore. And that's what keeps them up at night. Because that's the thing, that's the seed, that little thing that they can't touch, that they can't get to. That they can't, their guns and their enforcers and their thugs, they could kill you, they could kill a lot of people. But it's like a virus for them. It's like Corona for them, because they can't stop it from happening, and they can't. If it really started to spread, there's nothing they can do to contain it. They can't put the genie back in the bottle, and that's the good thing. And that's what I like to think about. I'll talk to you next time, guys. All right. Take care. Be safe. Thanks for listening.